Have it set up nice. It's going to be good.
All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. You know, I just did a video the other day speaking about Section 8 benefits being taken away this November, SNAP benefits being taken away soon after that. Well, I got another bad news coming up. The Republicans are now talking about removing these Medicare, these different subsidies for senior citizens, seniors over 65. They're are going to try to make sure that they double their health care bill, their medicine. They're going to double it in price. Why do I think America is more wicked and not this great land of free home of the brave? Because you can tell the temperature of a country by how it treats its citizens. Look, it's a police state. The police beating the hell out of Americans on the side of the road, and you got the people that lived in sealed houses justifying it. You see all this police brutality. You see all this. Look, Epstein files. You see all this mess, and nothing gets done to him, but the book get thrown at everybody else that's under the elite, so-called quote-unquote elite. And then you go to third world countries. Mexico just made health care and medicine free for all its citizens. Mexico, a third world country. You got other countries. Germany, free health care for all its citizens. And we're supposed to be the greatest nation on the face of planet Earth, and all we do is stick it to the American people. Why? Because they dumb enough and stupid enough to continue to keep paying the big pharma and going to the hospitals because we don't want to practice trying to do whatever we can to take care of ourselves by eating and exercising and drinking good, clean water and keeping ourselves in good health as much as we can. Because if you don't have your health in this world, man, nothing else matters. What type of quality of life can you live when you just barely exist and you can't move, you become immobile and stuff, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Whatever you sow, you will reap. It's going to happen. So the whole ideal is we got to become proactive. Most of you need to be trying to do whatever you can to get off of these drugs. My mother, before she passed away, she had 2 strokes, all right? And got healed from both of them and returned back almost, and the second one returned back almost 100% complete. I would give her like maybe 65, 70%. That's better than nothing. Because when she was on them drugs and sedated and stuff, she didn't know what she was coming and going. She was just looking off in the wild blue yonder. We come across a sister that knew a little bit about natural alternatives and stuff. My mother passed away at 86 years old when the doctors told her that she was going to die she was going to die right then. They told me, go ahead and start preparing for funeral preparations. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. 6 years later, she lived. 6 years later. And you know what? She got off of every single prescription drug and did not die with one prescription drug in her body. Not that I know of. All right? And I tell you that there is a better way. But you can't expect a world that makes money off a sick population. The people who make money off a sick population, you're going to go to them and trust in them to heal you. You're going to go to them and trust in them that they're going to have the antidote or the solution. And before you know it, you go one time, you got 2 prescription drugs on top of your refrigerator. You go 5 years later, you got 10 of them. You go 15, 20 years later, you got 30 and 40 prescription drugs. And if you did not have them, you'd be dead. That ain't no way for nobody to live. That is not any way. But I can tell you this, segueing into this, here we go again. I told you, we're doing the Democrat-Republican shuffle. Democrat-Republican shuffle. You had Reagan and Bush, Republicans. Then in come Clinton, Democrat. Then in come Bush again, Republican. Then in come Barack Hussein Obama, Democrat. Then in come Trump, Republican. Then come Biden, Democrat. Then come Trump, Republican again. Guess what? The next wave? See, this is American people right here. Double-minded, two-spirit, don't know where they coming or going, passive, lethargic, lazy, complacent, whole 9 yards. don't want to be responsible for themselves in nothing, want to point the finger and put it towards somebody else, punt it down the road. And now, guess what? Guarantee the next election is going to be Democrats. And why? Because the Democrats under Biden made sure that the older senior citizens kept their health care costs down. Rich are getting richer, the poor are getting poorer. And I wish that everybody who have been listening to me all these years, if they had followed my advice. I look on the internet and see people following my advice about going out and getting their own homestead and their land and stuff. They'll never come and talk to me because they're not interested in that iron game. They're not interested. The people today, they like and they love people who tell them what they want to hear. And they like hearing nice, soft, fluffy stuff that don't offend. Not somebody that's going to love them enough to tell them the truth, that's going to rock your boat of your world and tell you what you really need to be doing rather than sitting up there pretending. See, I understand it's a soft generation. It's a matriarchal generation. It's a feminine generation. They don't know parts of this. But somebody is going to be masculine enough, having masculinity, and patriarchal enough to be able to just speak truth and tell it just like it is. I can only give information because I've been making videos for a long time. And I can only, with giving this information, show you by my example of what I believe, because the one thing about Pastor Dowell, if I get on here and I say it, you can go in archives, you can go in recent videos, you can look and see that I practice what I preach, I believe what I say, and the Most High has prospered me in the way. My life has not been a waste because I've trusted in him. And he has blessed the labor of my hands, and I thank the Father for it. And even right now, I live on a community out here. I think the oldest woman we have on the community out here, I think she's 90 years old. And the youngest out here is a month and a half years old. And guess what? Nobody is on prescription drugs trying to manage a disease or sickness. Zero. Where's that heard of at in church today? So we must be doing something right. Because the book says, beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prosper. So we're winning in every aspect of life because of our obedience to him, and we keep the commandments. The alternative is disobedience, excuse making. Have it your way. But some of you need to be told the tough truth. And that's just the way it is. And even at that, it's still dismal if you're actually going to implement it or not. But I know one thing, there's going to be a weeping howl all throughout this land right here because the poor folks, sorry for bad leadership, sorry if you're listening to false shepherds, false pastors, but after all, that's what you wanted in the first place, wasn't it? You got very, very few months to change. Very, very few. I don't even know if it's going to take or not.